Hi, I'm Dr. Howard Marshall, and I'm here to help you with your back pain because I'm a former sufferer myself. But in the process of dealing with it, I learned a great deal from some very good people, and now I want to share that. Let me give you a little bit of my history. I started to get the back pain as a practicing dentist when I was in my mid-30s, and it continued till my mid-40s. I continued to have episodes on and off, and it would happen, particularly the acute phases, when I was shaving, when I turned my neck the wrong way, when I was at the dental chair and tipped forward and turned my body. Sometimes even getting out of a car, if I didn't get out of the car correctly, my body wasn't lined up, the back would go out. So once this happened, I was in acute pain, and it really interrupted dental practice. I couldn't go into the office till I got better. And so I searched for solutions. My first episode, I was shaving and went down to rinse my face. And as I lifted myself up from the water at a 45-degree angle, I was leaning forward and my disc slipped. And I literally was frozen right there in pain. I had to drop to the floor. I had to crawl into the living room. I called a friend that lived upstairs, and she came down to help me and got some ice and made some ice bags from the refrigerator. And I lay on that floor for 24 hours, using the ice on and off, 15 minutes on, 10 minutes off, 15 on, 20 on, and then off 10 minutes. And this went on throughout the night. The next morning, I called a friend who gave me the reference to a chiropractor, and I went to see them immediately. Now, he helped me by using manipulation on the neck, in my C2 on this side with I call it a rabbit shot, but he hit the vertebra in a certain way that it put the vertebra in the right position. And then he had a spring machine, and he did the same thing. He got my lumbar sacral area back into position. But that was the only two maneuvers he seemed to know. And after going to him for weeks, although I was getting better, I realized that there was going to be more to this than just these two maneuvers and waiting till I went out again. So I began a deep research and searching to see what other approaches there were. And I went through everything. I took initial sessions in Rolfing, in Reiki, in Feldenkrais, in acupuncture, in Pilates, in yoga, in far infrared, and ultimately, after all this searching, I flew up to Canada, and I went to see a Dr. Stuart McGill, who's a PhD only in studying the back and spine, and does some brilliant research in the field. And from him, I learned certain exercises to do. He did a very thorough examination of me with x-rays, and he showed me where the problems were, how my pelvis tipped, where the shoulder dropped. He took examinations of me walking, videoed me when I was walking, and showed me how my posture was bad, how I tended to slump, how I walked with my head slightly forward. Showed me many of the things that were causing the problems, and some exercises to help relieve the problems. I thought I was on the right track when I left him and flew back down to New York, but once I got back into dental practice again, I found that it wasn't too long when I went out again with an acute situation. And I also had the acute situations when I was getting up out of bed on the weekend, and for some reason, if I got out of bed quickly, I found that if my legs weren't turned perfectly where my head and trunk were, bing, the disc just slipped. And I was again in acute pain. Killed the whole weekend, and I had to go to the chiropractor on Monday. So this was not a good way to live. And I searched deeply for further solutions, and finally I got the answer. Now, what was the answer? I was exercising at the gym, doing some exercising, stretching and so on, and I was helped by a yoga instructor by the name of Mark Turner. And I was helped so much in 3 sessions that I invited Mark to make a video for me to help other people. Mark brought his assistant or co-worker, Sarah, with him, and together they made a series of 6 videos, which is sort of multiple videos within a video. So I would imagine that there are probably at least a total of 20 exercises in these 6 videos on a progressive basis. So he starts easily, so the exercises are simple at the beginning, and he slowly increases and progresses. So those videos are wonderful. Now, what do I want to do to help you? First of all, I wrote a very, very comprehensive ebook. This book is everything soup to nuts. It goes into the causes of the problem. It goes into treatment of the problem with different specialists that you might want to avail yourself of. It also goes into what you can do for yourself at home very thoroughly. It has little stick drawings of the exercises that we recommend, and it continues on into nutrition and some extremely up-to-date information about muscle and protein repair in your body, as well as nutrition and weight control. So it's a very thoroughly written book. And then along with this ebook, I've also have the videos that Mark and Sarah created with me. And in addition, for those that really want to get very close, dive into their issues and their problems, I created a personal coaching program that will be 2 evenings a week in the evening from maybe 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock, and we'll have 15-minute sessions for each person. It's limited to 12, but that's going to go very deeply into your personal issues and the best things for you. And lastly, we created a monthly membership program. And on that, I'm going to be putting on additional videos on exercise, on other nutritional advances, on flexibility, and anything I think that can help you with your back and with your overall health. So without further ado, let me just state that this is all going to be available to you on my website, backpainhelp.us, and I will be back again in 2 days with our second video, in which I begin to demonstrate some of the exercises that you want to start with in slowly progressing with your back health. So see you soon, a couple of days.